So finishing something is really important in any quest, if you will, and this is no different. So this is my first finished notebook, and it's a notebook for Thomas and Finney, chapters 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I have already shown, I think, I forget where I was the last time that I made a video, but since, of course, by that time I had already completed a test for chapters 1 and 2, and then I think by that time I was already in chapter 4, if I remember. But I completed all of chapter 3 with a summary for chapter 3. I don't think I had done a summary for chapter 3 the last time I made a video. Then of course chapter 3 I had to kind of go through it because I don't really care so much for all those word problems, but I still did go through a whole bunch of them. Enough I think to say, okay, I know how to do them. Of course, last time I showed this notebook, I showed all these graphed a lot of functions. But then I think it was section 3.5. Yeah, I think I left off like here last time. And so ever since I've done this much. And so I did go through section 3.5 and then finished off chapter 3. More graphing of functions. And then I did a quiz for chapter 3, which is really the miscellaneous problems at the end of the chapter in Thomas and Finney. Did a bunch of those. Of course, the notebook started getting a little thicker. Just having a lot of fun graphing functions, and yeah. Working out derivatives, asymptotes, decreasing, increasing, concavity, all that good stuff. So then I moved on to chapter 4. Notes for chapter 4, and then a summary for it, some approximations, the Riemann integral, the Leibniz rule, or Leibniz, I don't know how to pronounce it correctly, and the approximations, trapezoidal and Simpson's rule. Of course, I completed a bunch of problems. It's calculus, so I'm doing odds and evens at the same time. Some sequences, which I find to be a lot of fun. Some integrals, which I find to be even more fun in chapter 4. And then a quiz. So I went back and I did miscellaneous problems for chapter 4. There weren't that many. It's a short miscellaneous problems. And then I did a little test. So I went back and cleaned up some problems that I hadn't done for chapters 3 and 4. And that completes my very first notebook for calculus. The original plan was to go all the way to chapter 6 and fit it into a single notebook, but I didn't really know how thick it was going to get, and so I had to stop at chapter 4. And I was going to do a final, but I think I'm going to wait to the way that I was going to do it, but instead I think I'm going to move the final to chapter 8, which will be roughly halfway through the book. And of course I've already started a new notebook for calculus 2, and that notebook begins in chapter 5, and these are the chapter 5 notes, and it's all of one page. And so beginning on Monday I start on chapter 5, and that's it. My very first math notebook in my self-teaching quests.